What the hell?
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 Hello, everybody, and welcome back to What the Hell Should I Watch? Our weekly rundown of what we're watching, which may become what you're watching, coming at you every Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time on stevestebbing.ca. And some fun stuff this week. Just purely fun, like jaw on the floor, spectacle action. To kick it all off. I feel like I had a really, really great weekend in theaters with 3 separate films. So I got a lot of glowing recommendations, including one that's not going to be out for a couple of weeks. But let's see what's fresh right now. So right, fresh for your eyeballs. And well, this already was tracking with me to be a hit because Fox, well, not Fox, but 20th Century and Disney giving the reins of Predator to Dan Trachtenberg, who before this was the 10 Cloverfield Lane guy. I enjoyed that movie immensely, especially being the Cloverfield universe. You already have me hook, line, and sinker. I know exactly how you feel about anything Cloverfield related. But Predator has fit very nicely as an IP with him. We've had Prey, we've had the animated Killer of Killers, and now we get Predator Badlands.
A young predator outcast from his clan finds an unlikely ally on his journey in search of the ultimate adversary. Starring Elle Fanning and Demetrius Schuster Koloa-Mantangi. Directed by Dan Trachtenberg.
All right, so the trailers for this film are awesome. And it always sucks when all the best parts are in the trailer and it can never really meet up to the expectations as a feature film. The good thing about Predator Badlands is this whole movie rocks from start to finish. I wish I'd gotten to seen it in an IMAX setting, or maybe the 4D, or any of the big box cinematic experiences that are given at the big theaters right now. But I just saw it in my regular landmark cinema here, and even still, with all the discarded popcorn and everything, my jaw was resting right there for the majority of this film. It looks gorgeous. The action is really great. There is a heart and soul that beats to this film, about finding a clan or finding where you belong, because Deck, our main character, Predator, which has never been a thing before.
Having a name? No.
Having a name and having, like, showing off, the just, what they usually are like as a species, and the depth of their resolve. I mean, he's an outcast because he's called the runt of his kind. So he is, by his brother in his brother's last moments, sent to this planet. And his whole purpose is to find his clan, to complete his hunt, and to take what he believes is his rightful spot. But this film, like, through Elle Fanning, through what might be perceived, we talked a little off air about this, perceived as a little Disneyfication of the Predator lore. There is a cute side character in this one, but it's purposeful. And I think this movie is hard to hate. It was really hard to hate. It's very well written. I mean, majority subtitles, because Deck is all in subtitles. and a dual performance from Elle Fanning that's really great, and just the action and set pieces and the exploration of this world. This film really had everything for me, so I kind of gushed all about it on Letterboxd, because it's just an exciting film, and I really felt it. And I know you're probably going to be seeing it soonish, given that your spouse is a huge fan of this property.
Yes. Yeah. Planning on seeing it this week. Yeah.
Nice. So we'll get your thoughts on it next week. There is an interesting voice cameo in this one, as the voice of Dex ship, of the AI in Dex ship. It is Matt and Ross Duffer, who are the creators of Stranger Things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're the twins that created that show.
Right.
And yeah, they provide the voice in this, a voice cameo in this one, because really it's just a tiny cast. It's essentially who you like, the two actors that you said in the description. The film was co-written by Patrick Asen, who also wrote Prey with Dan Trachtenberg for this one. So bringing that team back, even though this is a very separate story that has no connection to anything else Predator wise. The score for this one's done by a composer that I've talked about a few times, Benjamin Wallfish, who did Predator: Killer of Killers already in this series of films. And his upcoming film is Mortal Kombat 2, which got delayed until next year. It's supposed to be out in October. We got a little bit of a delay. Also, one of the composers on this was Sarah Skachner, who also did the score for Prey. So it's all people that Trachtenberg has worked with before to create this Predator sound going forward. So that's really cool. And the film was shot by Jeff Cutter, who has done everything that Dan Trachtenberg has directed so far. So they're a good team, as well as did a Netflix slasher film called There's Someone Inside Your House. Came out, I think it was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think I know that one.
Yeah, as well as a film called Office Christmas Party with Jason Bateman and TJ Miller, and one that I know you like, Orphan.
Yes.
From 2009. Is it 2009?
2008.
Is it 2008? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. 2007 or 2008.
Which would have been the year before he shot a really terrible film, Nightmare on Elm Street remake from 2010. He shot that one. Which, honestly, the camera work wasn't the problem in that one. It still looked good, but it was just the movie depicted. Let's get some music video things that Jeff Cutter did, because I'm such a nerd. I did the Red Hot Chili Peppers video, Can't Stop, and the Korn video, Somebody Someone, and Sixpence None the Richer's There She Goes. Those are all songs you know, right?
The last one I'd probably know it if I heard it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But yeah, Predator is killer. I think it's a must see in theaters. And if anyone was going to ask me what to see now, especially in opening week, would definitely be this film. So go out and see it in the best format you possibly can, because it'll be 1,000% worth it. All right, moving on. We're going to talk about something that we saw at VIFF. So finally getting its release right now. But coincidentally, this was also the final film of Chloe's VIFF for 2025. This is Joachim Trier's new film, Sentimental Value.
An intimate exploration of family, memories, and the reconciliatory power of art. Starring Renate Reinsve, Stellan Skarsgård, Inga Ibsdotter Lilleaas, and Elle Fanning. Written and directed by Joachim Trier.
And yeah, like I said, this was your final film of the Vancouver International Film Festival, and it was very much a film where you felt like done.
Yeah,
like emotionally, with drama and stuff like that.
I was just pretty tapped for like emotional, intellectual film. Just, I don't know, like I felt like I wasn't processing this movie correctly, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of themes and a lot of heavy stuff that we dealt with at that point, and this film is not light. This is a film about the estrangement of a father and daughter, um, needing to connect,
Yeah. Yeah.
whether they know it or not. Like the father Stellan Skarsgård needs to connect. She is spiraling, doesn't know it, and needs something to connect her.
Yeah.
Whether it be
And
him is not sure, but
yeah. Like the theme of this movie, while heavy, also just wasn't as heavy as the other dramas that we've seen
mhm,
this festival. So it was kind of just like when stacked up against the other ones, it's like this one doesn't seem that serious to me.
mhm.
And
Well,
that's not a fault of the film or a
no.
fault of the subject matter. That's just because of overexposure.
Yeah, for sure. There is definitely some comedy to this film, though.
Yeah.
I felt some comedy came through. The birthday party for his
Yeah.
grandson was
I,
great when he's giving him like
yeah.
Gaspar Noé films and Michael Haneke and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like inappropriate gifts from the outside, but that's the coolest grandpa ever. Like, you're giving
But
Irreversible and the piano teacher.
yeah, at the same time that it's funny though, it does show how estranged the grandfather is. So there is levels to that. Like
Hmm.
it's funny, but it's also upsetting
Yeah,
and heartbreaking.
yeah, yeah. Because he doesn't. Yeah, he's trying to connect on the same level as like a colleague or something like that.
Yeah.
Or yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that this film is has life story, like biopic, like art at the center of it. Like he's trying to make a special film to him because he hasn't felt connected to his stuff in a long time. And
Yeah.
Stellan Skarsgård and Renate Reinsve power this film. It is powered by really, really great performances, and it was actually brought to my brought. I didn't know this, but on after the credits, it was brought to my attention that Stellan Skarsgård has aphasia problems. I think he's got early stage aphasia, so he's fed lines through a earwig,
Okay.
which is incredible for me because his performances are so thoughtful and
Yeah.
he tells so much in his silent moments, in his reactive moments, and that really blows me away that he's kind of like relearning the lines as they're coming to him.
Yeah.
It makes that performance, I don't know, a bit more bittersweet, I think.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I definitely enjoyed it. But yeah, like it was the end of a long stretch of days, so totally understandable. This film is actually the official submission for Norway for Best International Feature Film at the 2026 Academy Awards, which would be the 98th Academy Awards. I think it has a pretty good chance. There's a good crop of international films this year. Um, I would hold this one above Canada's submission at this point.
Yes.
Because yeah, we'll talk about Those Who Kill when it comes out next year. But
It's the things you kill.
oh, The Things You Kill, yes. But we will talk about that. I think it's January, February that Mongrel is releasing that one, so we'll have more to say about that then. Um, some background people that I saw in this one is supporting stuff. Jesper Christensen popped up in this film, as well as an American actor, Corey Michael Smith, who played like the Riddler um, character, esque character. Oh, I guess he was Edward Nygma in Gotham, the series. But he's popped up in a lot of good stuff. Like he was in Todd Haynes' Carol, which is a really good film. Um, and let's get nerdy here. The co-writer on this one was Eskil Vogt, who's written a bunch with Joachim Trier, but also wrote and directed his own film, and it was pretty ambitious because he did a remake of The Innocents, which is like a storied horror film uh, from years ago that's definitely Criterion. So it's bold when you want to take on something like that. And the film was shot by Casper Tuxen, who shot for Joachim Trier The Worst Person in the World with Renate Reinsve, as well as The Apprentice, Sebastian Stan playing Donald Trump. Riders of Justice with Mads Mikkelsen, which is just a badass movie, and Beginners for Mike Mills. I think this film won Christopher Plummer Best Supporting Actor Oscar. I think he won it that year. I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure he won it. As well, Casper Tuxen also shot a couple of music videos that I really like. I did Woodkid's The Golden Age, because I'm a huge Woodkid fan. And 30 Seconds to Mars, A Beautiful Lie, did the music video for that. But if you're looking for a good drama that has a little levity to it on the side, but really plays off of two very stellar performances moving almost parallel to each other for the majority of the film, I would recommend Sentimental Value. I think it's a great film. I think Joachim Trier is one of the best international filmmakers working today. And I always look forward to his films. Ever since I saw Louder Than Bombs, I've really loved his work. All right, moving on. This is like a midnight submission to the show because there was the mystery screening last night as we're recording this at Landmark Cinemas. And so I went. Usually when I go to these, it's a film I've already seen. The last time they did this was Christie. I'd already seen that film. So I was wondering what it would be. The A24 logo came up on the screen, so I knew I'd be sitting for it. And it turned out to be this film. This is called Eternity.
In an afterlife where souls have 1 week to decide where to spend eternity, Joan is faced with the impossible choice between the man she spent her life with and her first love, who died young and has waited decades for her to arrive. Starring Miles Teller, Elizabeth Olsen, Callum Turner, John Early, Olga Merediz, and Divine Joy Randolph. Written and directed by David Franey.
So, I mean, great cast, a quirky
Yeah.
little rom-com storyline, and you know it's going to be a little bit skewed because A24 got behind it. So it's not going to be your regular big studio release film. And right away, this film feels like a mishmash of light Wes Anderson and heavy Alexander Payne. Like it. Do you ever see the movie Downsizing? It's kind of like a movie that it's like in that subgenre of rom-com.
Interesting. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
So it's like, I mean, it's about the process, and then all of a sudden the characters need to buck the process to find their true eternity, essentially, right? And I really like Miles Teller, and he's playing like, because they're playing characters that have essentially lived their life. Like when they died, they were old people, right? So
Yeah.
there's a lot of jokes around being your younger perfect self again, and like being able to do squats and like having full range of motion and stuff like that I think is really funny. The aesthetic's great. The script is really well done. I really dig John Early and Divine Joy Randolph in this, who play kind of the guides. They're afterlife care people, so they're supposed to guide them to find their exact eternity that they want to go with, because once you select it, that's final. You're spending eternity there. But there's like they become more invested in who their Miles Teller's character's story and Elizabeth Olsen's character in finding their true happiness, that everything kind of goes screwball wacky shack. And I enjoyed that process quite a bit. I thought this movie was a lot of fun, made me chuckle a whole hell of a lot. And it comes from a director that I've not seen any of his work before. So he's all new to me, and really brought something so really fresh and original feeling. The film was co-written by Patrick Cunane, who the only thing that I can see from him is he was a staff writer on the Kiefer Sutherland series Designated Survivor. He wrote a whole bunch of that show, and I've actually never seen a single episode of the show before, but I know it was pretty popular.
Yeah.
And horror related, Betty Buckley is the old Elizabeth Olsen in this one, and I would say she's in the majority of M. Night Shyamalan's movies. Like,
Yeah.
she's in a lot of his films. So anytime I see her, I think M. Night Shyamalan. Like, pretty
Where
much
is
every
he?
time. Let's get nerdy here. The score for this one's done by a guy I've talked about before. David Fleming did the score. I talked about him recently because he did the score for James Gunn's Superman. And the film was shot by Ruairi O'Brien, who's got the craziest first name with the most vowels I've seen in an obviously Irish name. He did a film called 5 Minutes of Heaven with Liam Neeson and James Nesbitt, which is like an IRA thriller. It's really
Okay.
well done. It's actually a
Okay.
very well done film. I remember renting it back in my video store clerk days when I was working at Rogers Video, and really liking that one. And this one is actually shot in Vancouver. So Miles Teller and Elizabeth Olsen were in Vancouver, as was Callum Turner. So if Callum Turner was in Vancouver, it makes you wonder if Dua Lipa was in Vancouver, which most likely she was, because they're like engaged now, I'm pretty sure. Just things I think about. But this one is not going to be out till the end of November. I believe it's November 28th. It will be out, so you got to wait a little bit. But this is your early scoop to say that Eternity is a pretty solid date night movie. Kind of comparable, but better than that Channing Tatum, Scarlett Johansson film, Fly Me to the Moon. I would say this
Oh,
one's better. I enjoy this one a lot more. All right, let's move on to possibly one of the most intriguing films of the year, a film that I possibly will be putting on my top 10, maybe the top 5. I'm still weighing it right now, but this is Yorgos Lanthimos. So you never know where to land sometimes. I'm still coming a couple days off of it. This one is Begonia.
two conspiracy-obsessed young men kidnap the high-powered CEO of a major company, convinced that she is an alien intent on destroying planet Earth. Starring Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, Aidan Delbus, Stavros Halkias, and Alicia Silverstone. Directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. Alicia Silverstone. I
Yeah.
haven't seen her in anything in
And she's Jesse
forever.
Plemons' mom in it.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Interesting.
that one of the other names that you don't recognize, and then Aidan Delbus, this is like his first film. He plays Jesse Plemons' character's cousin. And he's a bit slow and a bit naive, and allows Teddy, which is Jesse Plemons, to kind of guide him to doing this job and everything. And this movie is so crazy, so unpredictable, and it is like at the heart of it, it is a battle of wits between Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone, who both these actors are they just set their profession on fire. They're so good, and
Yeah.
Yorgos knows how to use them perfectly. And the score in this one is also has this this malevolence to it, this eerie presence that I really loved. And I feel like Yorgos is the closest director I have to having like a Stanley Kubrick. because his vision, his scale and his scope are always so they're so idiosyncratic. They are so absolutely his and his alone. And that's why I always feel so much Kubrick-esque quality to his films that I'm just really, really love. It's a film that I really don't want to give anything plot wise, and just tell you that the craft is really, really great, because I know you have an interest in this film for sure, being a Yorgos film. At theaters, definitely make this film very enjoyable as well. And there's just so much unpredictability to this storytelling that I'm really excited to see what you think of it. So, because when we bring it to your segment, we could just bust it wide open and talk about everything. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. But let's get nerdy right now. It was written by Will Tracy, who did the film The Menu with Ralph Fiennes and Nicholas Hoult, which was just a solid ass film. Really, really like that one. As well as an HBO series with Kate Winslet in it called The Regime. It was only 6 episodes or something like that. And this is actually based in a South Korean film called Save the Green Planet. So I actually want to seek this film out and see the original one, because actually the director, the writer and director behind that film was actually involved in the process of creating this film up to a certain point, and has seen the final product and just gave Yorgos nothing but praise on how taking this and making it his own. So that's really, really cool. Let's get a funny name in here. The score for this one, and he's Yorgos's guy, at least for the last 4 films. His name is Jerskin Fendrix. Jerskin. He's Yorgos's guy. For the previous films, for Poor Things and Kinds of Kindness, he just gave Fendrix the script to go off of to write the score. But this one, for Begonia, he didn't give him anything. He just gave him 4 key words, which was bees, basement, spaceship, and Emily Bald.
Bald.
Bald!
Yeah. Okay. Good direction.
There we go. The film was shot by Robbie Ryan, who also is a regular Yorgos guy for the last handful of films. But he also did a lot of work with Ken Loach, who was a VIF hero of mine. I feel like I've talked about him many times and about how you missed out on Ken Loach. But that's okay, because you got the Dardans now. So you've got what I got out of the festival in the beginning. But also did stuff for Andrea Arnold. You didn't see Bird last year, but he shot that for her. It was a really great looking film. But he also did a movie with Cody Smith McPhee and Michael Fassbender called Slow West. It was like a Western movie that came out, I think 2016 maybe. That was really great. Marriage Story for Noah Baumbach with Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. And Come On with Joaquin Phoenix for Mike Mills, which is a really great and I feel like underrated film that critics were huge on, but I don't think it really made an audience impact. Music videos. I did the music video for How to Destroy Angels, How Long, which is a great song. I really, really love that one. And James Blunt's You're Beautiful. Yeah. Now that song's in your head right now, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, no. I figured you'd want me to talk about that one, so.
Yeah.
That's why
anyone would.
Exactly. Even James Blunt.
He definitely wants you to.
Definitely wants me to. He got the pocket burn right there. Like, what is it? Someone talking about You're Beautiful? Some little trivia things that I found. I don't know if you heard about this, but for screenings in Los Angeles, attendees could enter for free, but only if they were bald. Or agreed to have their head shaved by trained barbers that were at the screening. In an interview, Emma Stone revealed that this was her idea.
Of course it was.
She also loved being bald. She said she really enjoyed it, and she wished she could be openly bald.
Openly bald. She's just
Openly
closeted bald.
Yeah, openly bald. Well, you know, I guess she wanted to keep that secret until at least the trailers would come out, because she's bald in the trailers. She has her head shaved on camera, like within the opening minutes before the title card of this film. But right before that scene happens, she shaved Yorgos's head, who is like her best friend now. They're like so absolutely close, which is really cool. I love when that kind of shit happens, and I've loved everything they've done so far. So I'm like, just bring it on. And in the kidnapping scene, the kidnappers, Jesse Plemons and his cousin, they're wearing Jennifer Aniston masks, and they contacted her because Yorgos is a huge Friends fan. So they contacted Jennifer Aniston to get consent for it, and Jennifer Aniston was like so pumped for it, like. And I totally didn't know this, but Jennifer Aniston's half Greek, so she shares that with Yorgos Lanthimos. They're both Greek. But this movie kicks ass. I cannot wait for you to see this movie.
Yeah.
This is must for you. If I were to put like something with a bullet that's must watch for you, it's Begonia, because I think this tickles everything, right? This is like art. This is like fucked up shit. This is like a little bit horrific. Like it's everything, right? So
right. Yeah.
I think it's for you for sure. All right, let's move on to something you can pick up now on physical disc. That's right, on the Blu-ray this week, and this is a sequel that's decades and decades after the original film, and it's for the shittiest reason possible, but let's not dwell on that, because we got a new Spinal Tap film. This is Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues.
The band reunites after a 15-year break for one final concert, starring Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, Harry Shearer, and Rob Reiner. Written and directed by Rob Reiner.
And really, like, all four of them wrote this film. Like, I shorten it to written and directed by the director, but honestly, this is all of them working together, and it's something that, like, long off sequels haven't always been satisfying. Like, even closer ones, like Zoolander 2 is not good. You know, Anchorman 2 is not great. Sometimes, like, these long awaited sequels just do not pan out, but I feel like everything is still exactly in place for Spinal Tap. The guys are still hilarious. They're still doing really great work. They're absolute legends. It was so fun to see Rob Reiner up on screen again as Marty DeBurgi, which is really funny because he is like an amalgamation of the top directors of that time, because Marty Scorsese, DeBurgi would be De Palma and Spielberg together, and it's so funny. It's like, that stuff is really, really funny. And I mean, this is the original mockumentary shit. Like, this is Spinal Tap is where largely that all came from. So to see it revisited and with some really great music cameos, like Elton John pops up in this one. Paul McCartney shows up in a really, really funny cameo that I thought, like, as a Beatles fan, I thought was really, really funny. And yeah, Spinal Tap is like a big thing in my personal music life because Nana brought me to an all-day Canada Day concert, and the headline act was Spinal Tap. It was like 1990, 1991. So I would have been like 10 years old. It would be like, it's like and it's in the same place where I brought you to My Chemical Romance, Billy Talent, and Rise Against.
Oh, okay.
Thunderbird Stadium.
Nice. Nice.
Same place. So yeah, yeah, that's really cool. So yeah, Spinal Tap really has like a special spot in my heart. And going back to the original film, we do have some returning people. Fran Drescher shows up in this one, and Paul Schaefer as Artie, which was really great to see. And some cool new cast like Chris Addison, who's the studio exec that's trying to help them on their journey, but he's allergic to music. He can't hear it. So he doesn't know if the stuff they're doing is any good. It's really funny. And John Michael Higgins shows up in this as their trainer that's hired to get them back into shape. And holy crap, John Michael Higgins looks pretty freaking old right now. I feel like I haven't seen him on screen in a long time, but holy fuck, he aged. Back to the stuff of why they couldn't make this film earlier, because despite being a box office success and then becoming a cult classic and then having a long-term home video and merchandise earning, the creators of This Is Spinal Tap, Rob Reiner, Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, and Harry Shearer, earned almost nothing from the film due to a poor rights deal with the holder of the rights, which is a group called Vivendi, and its subsidiaries. But in the years following the film's 1984 release, they reportedly received just $98 in music royalties and $81 in merchandising revenue. That's crazy, because you know about this film too, right? You know about This Is Spinal Tap, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like just weird shit. So they had a lengthy legal battle over the profits and ownership, which began in 2016 and then concluded with a settlement in 2020, which allowed them to the creating rights. So then they got to work on making this film, which is crazy because it ended up being Rob Reiner's first sequel that he made as a filmmaker. But this movie is a lot of fun, and if you like this is kind of like got the built-in audience. You're only going to watch this movie if you've seen the original film, or if the original film has any reference to you whatsoever. If you've seen the original film and you didn't care about it, then you're probably not going to care about this film. But I had a lot of fun with this one. It's really funny and really well done, and it's just great to see another Christopher Guest movie in some shape or form. All right, let's move on to what you can stream right now. Yes, on the streaming, and I'm going to be talking about the star of this series next week, probably the first thing that I talk about. So we might as well start getting the audience fresh to his good looks again. But this one's under a little bit of prosthetics some of the time. This series is called Chad Powers.
A disgraced college quarterback named Russ Holliday disguises himself as Chad Powers and walks onto a struggling Southern football team to revive his football career. Starring Glenn Powell, Perry Matfeld, Quentin Blair, Wynn Everett, Frankie Rodriguez, and Steve Zahn. Created by Glenn Powell and Michael Waldron. Available on Disney+.
Yes, Glenn Powell has been shepherding this series through FX and Hulu. About this quarterback that screws up so bad that he becomes completely unhireable. So dons a fake mullet and big nose and mustache and becomes Chad Powers. All good boy, Southern boy, Chad Powers. And Glenn Powell is just charming as hell and can also play a good douchebag. And you still want to watch him in anything that he does. And I mean, his the original character that he's not a good dude. He's a guy that needs to learn a harsh lesson and have a solid ass kicking. But he uses his dad's prosthetics company to become this character, and it's a really interesting show to watch. And I think that Glenn Powell and Michael Waldron really created something really fun. And the first episode's really funny, especially when he's exploring his celebrity status, and he is like a douchebag celebrity. So he's at a club, and they're hanging out with some of your B-list celebrities, and one of them is Haley Welch, the Hawk Tuah or whatever. And he says something like, "Oh, Hawk Tuah's here," and he's like, "My name's Haley. I'm a human person." Like, it's just like really funny, some really funny like meta stuff that I play in it. And it's well written because Glenn Powell is also doing a lot of the writing as well, and he's just seems to be a very industrious dude when it comes to behind the scenes stuff, as well as in being in front of the camera. And I can definitely see him becoming a staple in both television and movies to come, because he's really solid. And I've enjoyed this one so far. It has concluded its run now, but I haven't finished all of it, but I'm enjoying it so far. Some of the other people that show up in this one, Clayne Crawford, I guess he's been deemed okay to work with now after his troubles on the set of Lethal Weapon, in which he got fired and replaced by Sean William Scott when that series ran. Toby Huss is in this one. You'd know him as a voice from King of the Hill. Took over as Dale, and he was Khan before. Eli Manning shows up in this one. It's a little sports crossover there. And of course, Loudmouth and ESPN, Stephen A. Smith shows up on this. Some of the episodes, we're getting nerdy here. Some of the episodes were directed by Tony Yacenda, who did the Little Dicky series Dave, which is really funny. I love that show, as well as a mockumentary series that was on Netflix called American Vandal. I think they did 2 seasons of that show. The first season's about someone drawing dicks on things everywhere. Okay, I think that's what the first season was about. But also directed the music video for Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco's Talk off their newest album. Which kind of makes sense if you realize that he did Dave episodes, because Benny Blanco shows up as himself on that series. Some of the episodes were also done by Payman Benz, who did episodes of Black Monday with Don Cheadle, which is a great series, just wild as fuck. Last Man on Earth with Will Forte. Yeah. And Key and Peele, which I'm currently watching the episodes of Key and Peele right now, and I'm way late to that show. That show was way ahead of its time. It's very funny. And episodes were written by Jamie Lee, who did the Pete Holmes series Crashing on HBO, which I really enjoyed. And Jordan Mendoza, who did episodes of the aforementioned series Dave on FX, and a show on kind of an interview show that was on Showtime called Z-Way, which I always see clips of it on TikTok and stuff, and it's really funny, kind of cringe interviews. I enjoyed it. The score for the show was done by Natalie Holt, who did the Joey King action film The Princess, as well as the TV shows on Disney Plus, Loki and Obi-Wan Kenobi for the Star Wars universe, as well as a Maggie Gyllenhaal limited series called The Honorable Woman. She did the score for that. And this show was shot by a guy I've already talked about, Mark Schwartzband, who I talked about with the Ethan Hawke show, The Lowdown, which is also concluded its run, is definitely worth checking out. And brother to the creator of the show, Jeffrey Waldron, also shoots a lot of this show. I did the remake of Haunted Mansion with Lakeith Stanfield and Jared Leto. And You Hurt My Feelings with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, which is a really funny film. And Addicted to Fresno which is my Judy Greer reference for this episode. Because she's in that one with Aubrey Plaza and who's also in that one. Natasha Lyonne is in that film as well. And Waldron also shot the TV series Dear White People from Justin Simeon, which is kind of your Haunted Mansion connection there as well. But I enjoy the show. It's well done. If you're looking for something to crash through a handful of episodes, I don't think you would be unentertained by this show, especially if you like Glenn Powell. If you're on the Glenn Powell train, you'll enjoy Chad Powers. His name's Chad Powers. All right, let's move on to some stuff I added to my library recently. Yes, this one I've had for a little bit, like pre-VIF, but I have not been able to talk about it. The first one released in a brand new 4K. I don't know if you got this one as well, but The Corpse Bride is now in my collection on 4K. And
That's cool, though.
This is a classic. I know you watched the hell out of this movie when it came out. It was
Yep.
a big rewatch. You could probably watch it enough that you probably knew the script for it. But it was a really, really fun movie that Burton actually directed himself. He didn't have somebody else do it. And it's like his two like staples, because it was Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter. So it was like perfect. Also, and this one is out this week. You can now pick this up everywhere, and it is an absolute classic. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest 4K. I have my copy. Did you get your copy?
No, I thought I sent the email for one, but I don't actually think I did. So I'm just gonna go pick it up at Walmart or something.
Okay, because I know when I said that the email came out, you're like, oh, it's
I was stoked. Yeah, and then I guess I for some reason thought that I sent the email.
No,
and I
well,
didn't.
This is the harsh lesson of always check your emails.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I knew the email was there. I thought that I also sent an email.
Well, the lessons come through harshly sometimes.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is Milos Forman adapting Ken Kesey. It's iconic, not just for Jack Nicholson, but Louise Fletcher as Nurse Ratched is just an incredible villain in this film. And this movie is great. This is a really, really great movie, and it'll be really great to relive it in 4K, because I've been really enjoying all of these revampings that WB has been doing to their whole catalog. And there's some really cool ones that are to come, and I am excited to talk about them as they come. Also, I just through Allied Vaughn, I've been just going for everything box set wise, because they've been really putting a lot of cool stuff into the catalog. So a lot of this is TV that I haven't seen all of, or I haven't seen really any of it. So the first one is an Aaron Sorkin show, The Newsroom. It was on HBO, has Jeff Daniels. The opening scene of the first episode is Jeff Daniels on stage being asked about the American dream. And he rips into, he basically is like, the American dream's dead, and it's been shared a lot in social media, but now I have that in its entirety, so I can watch it in all of its context. So I'm really, really excited about that, especially in this day and age where we've pretty much demonized media to a state in which it has a hard time operating. But there's 3 seasons of that, so very excited to dig into that. Also, I got Alfred Hitchcock Presents, which is 7 seasons in a DVD box set. And I mean, of these episodes, Hitchcock actually directed 17 of these episodes himself. So I'm really excited to go back to this series, because I remember it being shown in reruns on TV when I was a kid and catching bits of it here and there. And now with my affinity for the old masters and stuff, I'd really, really like to dig into something like that. So I was really excited when I saw it all in one box set, because I've seen them before in all of the separate volumes, and it just seemed like a very expensive undertaking at the time. So to get this whole box as one, pretty excited about that. And lastly, The Day of the Jackal. And I feel like I've already talked about this show. I feel like I've talked about this remake of The Day of the Jackal, which had a 90s remake with Bruce Willis and Richard Gere, in which Bruce Willis brutally kills Jack Black on screen by blowing his arm off and stuff. Like, it's traumatic now to think about, Minecraft Jack Black getting murked like that. But this is a cool series. I really like it. Eddie Redmayne is the Jackal in it, and I love the spy and aliasness of it. And so I'm excited to have that in its entirety on Blu-ray. So very cool stuff to add to my collection this week. We're close-ish to getting out of here. I have a few reminders to hit first. All right, this week on Blu-ray, a few things that I've already had aired my thoughts on out this week from Disney. Freakier Friday, speaking of a sequel that came, 20 years after the original film. Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis fit back into this movie like an old pair of gloves, and I think it honestly fits. It was a cute film to watch. I enjoyed it for the most part, even if it felt like a big giant Disney Channel film. I reviewed that one back on the August 15th episode. And on Blu-ray on 4K, you can pick up The Naked Gun, the remake reboot of the classic Zucker, Leslie Nielsen property. Liam Neeson taking over, being deadly serious in a spoof movie. And I think it really works out. This movie is really funny. And the Lonely Island guys are your major writers on this one, Yorma and Akiva. And I think they knocked this one out of the park. Paul Walter Hauser's in this one too, and I adore him. And Pam, Canadian, British Columbia's own, Ladysmith's own Pam Anderson is really fun in this one too. I reviewed this one on the August 8th episode, so you can check it out there. Him, a little bit of football related horror from Monkey Paw Productions, Jordan Peele's company, featuring a Marlon Wayans, who has honestly never been better. He is really, really solid in a film that just doesn't meet the quality of that performance. It just feels like it gets lost and a little bit muddied. I reviewed that one on the September 26th episode of What the Hell Should I Watch, which was the episode we did right before we went on our VIF hiatus. So, and then also on 4K through Deckel Releasing, who I don't have any contacts for. And it makes me sad because I really want this one. Together is now out on 4K. I know this is probably one of Chloe's top films of the year. We both already brought our thoughts about this movie to the show. But now that it's on 4K, I have a thing that I cut out of the previous podcast because of spoiler you said. But I originally reviewed this on the July 18th episode of the podcast, and Chloe reviewed this on the August 8th episode of the podcast, and she dropped this little tidbit.
Are we doing spoilers? I feel like it's
go for it.
Okay. The fact that like when they perfectly meld, they become one person is really cool to me. And I don't know the actor that plays Jamie. the school co-worker
Oh
of...
yeah, I think his name is Damon Harriman.
Okay. I knew something was wrong with that guy the second I saw him. I was like, he's either going to be a sexual predator or he's the bad guy in some other way. He was just giving me major creep vibes, and I was right.
That's right. I just felt really weird about airing anything deeper spoilers into the third act of
I don't even remember what I
Together.
said.
Exactly. So
So.
you're gonna have to watch the episode to figure out what it is you said. And finally out on 4K this week through Sony, Austin Butler being all on-screen sexy in Caught Stealing, because I mean, is he not one of the hottest actors working today consistently? Like, people really gravitate. I mean, between this film and Bike Riders, he's like the dreamy dude in both. And even though he's trying to, he looks like Elvis, he's good looking in that film.
He's come a long way from Aliens in the Attic, so.
Way to bring up that movie again.
Yeah, no worries. I will at every opportunity.
There we go. Well, I appreciate it. But that brings us to the end of this episode.
But you've been yelling at me to watch this for a few weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
You've been ranting and raving about it. So I saw Dream Eater finally.
Yes.
I want to start off by saying that this film is gorgeous. I really, really like how they did found footage in this one. I like the set. I like the location. I like most of the sound design. Where it kind of falls apart for me is I didn't feel a lot of chemistry between the actors. It felt a little disjointed and kind of just like, why are we here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why? Like, because obviously these people aren't happy together and they don't really get along. So why is she going through so much for him and like suffering through all of this? Um, so that just kind of pulled me out of it a little bit. But I do like the almost Lovecraftian aspect to it. Um, and that's the kind of supernatural vibe that I got was Lovecraftian, because it was
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't want to say too much because this film isn't out yet, right?
Oh, it is out. It is out.
Oh, it
But
is.
yeah, it is
Okay.
out. It came out a couple of weeks
Okay.
ago.
Oh, okay. Then I will say it then. Like with like the cults and just the bloodline thing just seems pretty Lovecraftian to me,
Mm-hmm.
which I always appreciate. I always love some of that. But yeah, it's just kind of the pieces didn't fit very well together. It it was like a present wrapped up in a very beautiful bow and wrapping paper, and then you open it and it's like a
Socks.
tie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Maybe a nice pair of socks, but nonetheless a pair of socks.
Fair.
So I did appreciate this movie because, as you said, it was low budget, low everything. It's only two actors, it's only one location, and I do appreciate it for that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. Maybe I went in with too high expectations, but
Yeah, because I told you it freaked me out, because it really did
yeah,
freak me out.
there were scenes that creeped me out. And there were scenes that I thought were really cool, like when she's flipping through all the drawings that he's done,
Mm-hmm.
and like those drawings were creepy as hell.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, for me, atmosphere and small details matter a lot more in horror aspect than things that we are very obviously told or shown.
Yep.
Simply because I am so oversaturated with that. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, show me something new, show me something subtle, and that's scarier to me. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Again, though, I didn't hate the film, and I would recommend it to horror fans. So
Nice.
if you are a horror fan, then yes, do watch this film.
Nice. Awesome. All right, well, that is bringing us to the end of this episode, but what am I going to talk about next week? So a taste of next week, and I feel like I'm going to have another action juggernaut on my plate again that I'm going to be ranting and raving about, because The Running Man is out this week. Glenn Powell is the lead of this one, but Edgar Wright is the filmmaker on this one. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, At World's End, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. There hasn't been an Edgar Wright movie that I haven't adored. And I even put Last Night in Soho in there, which is a movie that I feel like a lot of people didn't enjoy that I freaking loved a lot. So I am so pumped about this authentic adaptation of The Running Man, not the Arnold version. This is going for the Stephen King version. Very excited about that. A film that I'm less enthused about seeing, but I am still going to check it out nonetheless, is Now You See Me, Now You Don't, a series that I haven't been super excited about to this point, but I've seen some okay reviews from colleagues on this one, so I don't know. We'll see. And I'm crossing my fingers that I'm getting this in theaters, hopefully in my local area. Osgood Perkins' new film is out on November 14th, Keeper. I don't even know what to think about this movie, but I'm so excited for it. Some of the imagery that I'm seeing from the trailers is just insane stuff. So I'm really, really excited about that one. And hopefully they'll keep it in theaters for one more week for me to see it. Lim Ramsey's brand new film, Die My Love, with Jennifer Lawrence and Robert Pattinson. I'm hearing so much great stuff about this one. It's basically about postpartum and losing your mind during it. So your
so this
spouse
is like the
being,
second time.
Yeah,
It's like
kind
the
of.
second time that Jennifer Lawrence has done that, because that was kind of Mother as well.
But Mother, we're getting into a little spoilery because it's not exactly reality. But well, you know what I mean when it comes to that.
Yeah.
I feel like the statute of spoilers is definitely over for Mother, but
Mother came out like 10 years ago.
Exactly. But I don't even think we have the time and headspace to break that down right now. If we're being real about this, that is a whole nother hour-long podcast. But that brings us to a close here. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Threads, and Blue Sky at the Stevel Dead.
You can find me on Letterboxd at HoneyBunChloe.
You can also find all of the episodes for this show on stevestebbing.ca or go to the YouTube page, and please like and subscribe. You can also find us on shiftheads.ca. You can hear me a few different places. First, on After the Credits with Marina, Bill, and Melissa. You can find those episodes at atcpod.ca. You can also hear me on Tremble, the Horror Podcast with Kurt and Taylor. You can find those episodes at 3angrynerds.com. And you can also hear me now on Kelowna's AM 1150 every Friday just after the 8:30 news break. And you can also hear me on Shane Hewitt and the Night Shift, Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Toronto's News Talk 1010, found on the iHeartRadio network. You can also get all of those episodes wherever you get your favorite podcast. And that does it for us. We've emptied out our list for this week. So until next week, bye-bye.